Hello and welcome back to my channel, and this video, which is going to be on Bethesda's E3 conference for E3 2019, and it's going to be a quick video just to talk about my predictions, what I think is likely to turn up, and some of the 3 things that I think would be great if we could get some more information on. And I thought I'd start it rather poignantly with Fallout 4 in the background, being that Fallout 4 was the last time that they truly hit the nail on the head when it comes to an E3 conference. The hype that they generated with E3 when they were, in the run-up to Fallout 4 and they were talking about Fallout Shelter was immense. It was unbelievable. So if they can capture some of this in this year's E3, it would be amazing. But do I think that's likely? No, because they've got a mountain to climb because of the way that the last year has gone. So let's talk about sort of the general vibe of this year's E3 for Bethesda. I think this will be a lull year. I don't think that they will have a lot of things sort of ready-made to come out. But there's a few games in there that look quite interesting, so let's have a little chat through them and see what we think overall. So, starting with what I think is very likely and then sort of working down from there. These things are things that I think are nailed on. Let's start with Doom Eternal, which I think will be the major thing this year, and I think we'll get more gameplay, I think we'll get a full demonstration this year of Doom Eternal, sort of walk through like the opening 5 minutes of like the level or something. Maybe some more information about some of the past enemies that are returning, some of the old enemies from Doom 2 and that I think they're reprising and bringing back to this game. So I'm really excited for that. I think that'll be a really good game to run through. I wonder whether or not it'll get, as I say, a demo of the level. I mean, id Software, Doom was a great game. The reboot was amazing, and it's going to be Doom 2. So what can go wrong? It's the same formula, except it'll probably be bigger. So there's nothing that can really go wrong with that. If that is the centerpiece of the show, though, I think that will be really disappointing, because it is just a sequel to Doom. You know what this game is. If you've played the original Doom, you know what Doom Eternal is gonna be. It's gonna be the same game with a new set of locations, new polish, new enemies that you're fighting. But the concept of smashing demons is a great concept. It's gonna be a good game. But as the centerpiece of your show, I'm not so sure. But Doom Eternal, that's gonna be on there for definite. Wolfenstein the Youngblood. Can't wait. I think that'll be really good. Again, I'd like to see a gameplay demonstration of that, because I think that'll be really interesting. I hope they don't stay too long on it, but I think a co-op Wolfenstein experience is really interesting. Again, it's Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein was a really good release. They've had 2 good games come out of Wolfenstein now, off their reboots. There's nothing, again, negative to say about it. id are doing really well at the moment with producing games that are just good, just solid, really good action games. Doom was more than good. Doom was invigorating for the action, franchise. You had Call of Duty for years spitting out the same game every time, and Doom says, "Nah, we're going to do something different. We're going to take it back a little bit and then bring out this." And Wolfenstein's got a really good story. Who doesn't like punching Nazis? So, again, what is going to be wrong with that game? I don't think there's anything that you can say is going to be wrong with it. Now, moving on from those 2. They always talk about games that have come out, so they will have a little bit of time dedicated to Rage 2 just to say how well it's doing. Possible DLC, reveal for Rage 2, something little, or like a little teaser about what they're going to do with it. I think that's extremely likely, and just to build hype for the game, and it's more like an investor's thing to say, Rage 2 did really well. So let's see what comes out of that, but I think that's very likely. ESO, Elder Scrolls Online. There's always going to be a thing about that because Elsewhere's just come out. Again, that looks really interesting. Can't wait for that. So, again, real positive. I haven't really played ESO, but I am debating whether or not to get into it because the Elder Scrolls 6 seems such a long way away. I've heard ESO is good now. I just don't like MMOs. So, possibility of getting into that, but not likely. But I'm sure there'll be a bit of time dedicated to it. Quake Champions. I know nothing about Quake Champions. I like Quake, the original. Quake Champions, I haven't played it. sure it's good. I'm sure they'll bring out something about it, but I just don't care. So, sorry Quake Champions, I'm writing you off, but I'm sure you'll be there. Elder Scrolls, the card game. Is it called Elder Scrolls Legends? I think it is. Is it coming to Switch? I guess. I don't know. It's a natural fit for Switch, to be honest. I think it would fit on the device quite well. So, possible port onto Switch if it's not already on there. I know Fallout Shelter's on there, so likely. I think they'll talk about it. They'll release something. They always do. So, I bet it makes a fair amount of money, and that's what they really care about. Elder Scrolls Blades. Now, Elder Scrolls Blades, I played it. I tried to give it a fair shake. I played it for like an hour, and it's just a mobile game, in the worst way. Fallout Shelter was released in such a good way, tied in with Fallout 4, which just, the music is great, and it's one thing they nailed in this game. It's a shame that the game itself wasn't, the best game in the world, but Elder Scrolls Blades, if that would have been taken better if they were releasing Elder Scrolls 6 alongside it in the same way. Not just a teaser, like a title, something solid, and the monetization in it is a bit dire. But yeah, I'm sure they'll talk about it just to say, we've listened to feedback, this is what we're going to do to improve it. Hopefully they do something, anything, to try and bring that game back. Because, it's got promise. The graphics, for a mobile game, look alright. I think the concept of, the combat's not amazing, the magic's not amazing, but, for a little mobile game, there are worse mobile games out there than Elder Scrolls Blades, for definite. There's something in there that if they work on it a little bit and they stop trying to monetize it in an aggressive way like they're doing, make it a little bit more approachable, like Fallout Shelter was. Fallout Shelter was extremely approachable. You have loads of fun in that, and you can buy things to speed up if you want to. There's plenty of options there to make that game good. They don't need to make it as grindy as it is, and I think they've already taken some steps to improve it. So, possibility for Elder Scrolls Blades Redemption, and then the big one is Fallout 76. Now, I'll talk about this probably for quite some length. Fallout 76 was a major disappointment. The game that came out was absolute garbage, train wreck, dumpster fire, fodder. Honestly, how they can think to ship it like that, I don't know. They've done this interview this week, Todd Howard, where he's spoken to this IGN guy that just looks like he would rather be anywhere else than talking to Todd Howard about Fallout 76. Because, my god, his line of questioning, he's so meek, this interviewer. I feel sorry for him. He just looked like he did not want to ask these questions at all, and I just pity him being in that position. He must have drawn the short straw at the IGN office. Oh, who wants to go talk to Todd Howard about Fallout 76? It's like the first proper interview he's done, really, about it on one-on-one basis. Oh, how about you, Tim? You're the intern. You fucking do it. No, I don't want to fucking do it. Don't make me do it. Well, now you gotta do it, because you said you didn't want to do it, so now I'm gonna make you do it. Interns, ring of fire, temps, you have to do it. Yeah. Feel sorry for the guy. So, Fallout 76, they've got a roadmap laid out. I assume we'll get trailers for, I think it's Nuclear Winter. There's some rumours going around, and I think some evidence in the game that they're going to be putting in a Battle Royale mode. Fallout Battle Royale mode. I really hope that's not true, but I just know it is. I know they're going to walk out on stage, Fallout 76 team, they're going to have that sycophant crowd just cheering, and then they're going to say, it's Battle Royale, and I'm just going to groan. I'm just going to audibly just want to cry internally at the ridiculousness of it. So, yay! I can't wait for that. So, that's likely. I reckon we'll get, as I say, a trailer for the Nuclear Winter thing. I wonder whether or not we'll get more information about, like, what they're going to do into 2020. What's the plans there? Because they said they're going to keep supporting this game for years. So let's after the bad release and making people pay 60 quid like me for an unfinished, shoddy piece of shite, let's see them stick to their word. Let's see them make it into a good game. Because Fallout 76, the world space is really interesting. It reminds me of Honest Hearts, the DLC. The world of Honest Hearts was really interesting. The story was great. And Fallout 76 gives me the same vibe that Honest Hearts did. It just looks that same style, you know, the Virginia thing mixed with, I think, is it in Colorado or something in Honest Hearts? I should know that off the top of my head. But, you know, they gotta give us something about that. You know, something interesting at least there. Because, you know, really... Because Fallout 76 could be good, and that's what I find most frustrating about Fallout 76. I've heard it's better than it was. I will give it its dues. I've heard it's better than it was. But that's a really low bar. You know, if we're saying it was a 2 out of 10 or a 3 out of 10, and now it's a 5 out of 10, it's not good enough for Fallout. It's not at all good enough. The story's not there. Put NPCs in the game. Just do it. You know, so... yeah, that's all I've got to say about Fallout 76. And these are all the things now that I think are nailed on. That's the end of my sort of nailed on predictions. That's everything that we're definitely going to see. And then the rest of this is now just rumours. So, what do I think is likely? There was a listing for 6 dummy titles on Amazon UK, I think today or yesterday. But you've got to take that with a pinch of salt, because 2 of those listings will be Xbox and PS4. So you'll have 1 game split between the 2 consoles, I know. So, realistically, I reckon we're going to get 3 games. 3 possible announcements. The first one is just based on the fact that the rumour has been going around so long, there can be no smoke without fire. Fallout 3 Remaster. I would love a Fallout 3 Remaster. As long as they don't add Creation Club to it. He says, looking at Fallout 4 with Creation Club all over it, wanting to end. Yeah, so Fallout 3 Remaster, that would be great. If they announced that and had a trailer, you know, something basic even if it was the opening sequence of Fallout 3 remastered in Fallout 4 with, like, you know, a better image, better resolutions, people would lose their shit. They would lose their shit. And I'm not the biggest... if I was to rank the Fallout games, Fallout 3 would not be top. Fallout New Vegas would be top, and then it would be followed by Fallout 2. Fallout 3 and Fallout 1 would sit probably level on my scale. But Fallout 3 is a great game. It's got some flaws, but it's a great game, and a remaster of it would not be amiss. It would be really interesting to see, and I reckon that's a likely thing. You know, they've got to have something to pull out the bag. Bethesda have said that that Starfield and Elder Scrolls are not going to be at this year's E3. I'm about to get on Starfield because I still feel like there's going to be something there. It's their premier IP at the moment. It's the one they're devoting the most time to. They've got to build up hype for it after the disappointment of Fallout 76. You can't tell me it sold well. So, Fallout 3 Remaster, I think that's likely. Following on from that, Starfield. I feel like they've got to mention Starfield in some way. So I think it will be there in some way, even though they've said it won't be there. I think it's likely that there'll be something about it. Even if it's not, you know, the whole game, there's got to be some sort of, you know, trailer, another teaser, anything. Because I just think that's a flat-out lie that it's not going to be there. Elder Scrolls 6, I don't think will be there. But Starfield, apparently they've been working on it for 3.5 years now. They've got to have something to show people. But if they don't, I reckon it will be in the Game Awards that they will announce it properly. As in, like, with a full demo. Or they will save it for next year's E3 and it will be released in 2020. That's what I reckon will happen, but, you know, we'll see. Watch that space with Starfield. That was number 2. And number 3, I reckon there might be the possibility of Prey 2. I didn't play Prey 1. I heard it was good from people that have played it. I watched Gopher's Let's Play of Prey, and I didn't really feel the need to play it after that, so yeah, I'll just leave it there on that one. I haven't got much else to say about Prey. If Prey 2 does get announced, it'll be a good game for people that like it. I don't think it sold amazingly, but it's got a decent cult following. And, you know, maybe I'll pick up Prey and Prey 2 at some point. But that's everything. The only other thing that they might mention is Creation Club. You know, with Creation Club, I wonder whether or not are they going to stop it? No. Can they make it a lot better? Yes, they can. They could put in proper quest mods and actual DLC-worthy content. Look at something like Falscar. You know, you can't tell me Bethesda couldn't create something like Falscar. Even a smaller version would be appreciated. You know, look at Enderall. Enderall. God, that was terrible. That is impressive. And Bethesda could do that. Because they are, you know, they're a large company. You can't tell me they can't do something as good as that. And I think Creation Club would be worth it if they put that sort of content on there. Rather than updating the game with crappy costumes that mean that, you know, have to wait for FSC to be updated on the script extender and it cocks up all my mods. Thank you, Bethesda. That's a great idea. 10 out of 10. So, as you can tell, this year is a crunch year for them. They need to get the audience on side immediately. Because if they don't, this could be a really long conference for them. You know, is Pete Hines going to come out and apologise for Fallout 76? Is Todd Howard going to come out and apologise for Fallout 76? Because I think they need to. They need to say sorry for that game. Properly. And if they did that, they might actually recover a little bit of respect and goodwill. And I think people would be more receptive. Because at the moment, Todd Howard hasn't got the best, you know, image in the gaming community. And he needs to work to change that. So, that's my predictions. That's what I see happening with Bethesda. And I hope you've liked this video. And I hope you all have a great evening, and I will be posting these in succession. So there'll be a Bethesda one, there will be a Nintendo one, and there'll be an others one of just sort of stuff that I really want to see from some of the other guys there, and some of the other games that I'm hoping will have a presence. Cough cough, Cyberpunk 2077. So have a great evening, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. And hopefully there'll be a Harad campaign coming up as well, and maybe another Pokemon video at some point soon, along with Hearts of Iron 3 as normal. So, thank you very much for watching and listening, really more than watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a great evening. Good night.